Chapter 13. Thanks, Mom, Avery said, kissing Allison's cheek. So were they giving you a ride home afterward, then? Allison asked, grabbing Avery's white leather purse from the console. Here, don't forget this. Oh, thanks. Yes, they are. Pulling down the visor, Avery took a final assessment of her makeup, applying a touch more silver to each eyelid. I still can't believe that's the same dress, Allison commented. I know, right? Avery agreed. It's not perfect, but I think that dry cleaner did a pretty good job. They couldn't get all of it out of the back, though. That's what your mom's cute white jacket is for, right? Allison grinned. Thanks, by the way. I promise I won't roll around in the dirt with it. You'd better not. Well, he's waiting inside. I better get going. Have fun, sweetie. You look gorgeous. Love you. The scent of Vincent Conrad's Fourth Concerto gracefully fluttered an unseen path through the expansive foyer of New Hope's renowned Monument Theater. Above the polished white marble floor it glided, weaving its way around human forms, climbing through vines of decadent crystal, and eventually washing across the pale, freckled face of Eric Harper. Taking a seat on an oak-legged bench with cushy maroon velvet upholstery, Avery quietly took a seat directly in front of him, admiring his full reddish-brown hair. Shoulders erect and legs at nearly perfect 90-degree angles, he resembled a Marine awaiting his assignment. His large chest heaved with each slow breath, accentuating his muscular upper body. Removing his cell phone from his tan sport coat, Eric quickly typed something, then returned the phone to his inside jacket pocket. A brief moment later, Avery's phone jingled in her purse. Grinning suspiciously, she unsnapped the clip and reached inside to read the incoming message. You're wearing that amazing perfume again. Inputting her response, she crossed her legs and waited. Within a few seconds, Eric retrieved his phone and pressed the speaker button. A female computer voice then orated, Oh, so that's how you knew I was here. Actually, no, Eric confessed, placing the phone in his lap. I heard you walk in. No, Avery chuckled. With all these other people walking around. Oh, yes, he leaned forward. You have a signature step. Is that a bad thing? Avery squinted, tilting her head. Not at all. Everyone walks differently. I just happen to have memorized yours a long time ago. Mr. Harper, Avery giggled. Have you been spying on me? If you want to call it that, sure. Ever since algebra in 10th grade. Mr. Stott's class. Yep. I don't remember having that class with you. Trust me, I was there. I feel like I would have remembered someone in a wheelchair. Now I just feel like an idiot. Remember the guy with the dreadlocks? You're kidding me. That was you. But what about the wheelchair? I was thinking you'd always had to use it. The wheelchair is kind of a newer thing, actually. What happened? Eric faced the polished floor for a moment, then returned his gaze in Avery's direction. It's been kind of a gradual thing. I started losing my balance a lot about 15 months ago. Fell down the stairs a few times, stuff like that. Geez, that's weird. What caused it? The doctors haven't really pinned it yet, but it's kind of like multiple sclerosis, similar to muscular dystrophy, and a bit like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Avery's eyes were wide with concern. That's quite the mouthful. Basically, it's a motor neuron disease. Can it be treated? So far, no. Avery was silent for a moment, searching his eyes, which behaved like two little children wanting to tell an exciting story, but unable to find the words. With her delicate touch, she placed his left hand in hers, gently caressing his rough skin with her thumb. "It's not fair, Eric." "What do you mean?" "I don't know, just everything that's happened to you. I've thought a lot about what you told me the night of prom at the restaurant." "Oh? Have you ever been angry with her?" Eric's gaze was reflective, but he said nothing. "With your biological mother, I mean." "I wouldn't call it anger, no. I've been sad for her. I think she has a lot of regrets. Gavin had it worse than I did. All those boyfriends of hers were really hard on him growing up, I guess. Beat him up a lot. Stuff like that." "That's horrible." "Yes, it is." "Isn't she the reason you were born blind?" "Gavin thinks so. He thinks it was the drugs. He said when he was born, she wasn't into crack yet. She was actually 14 when she had him." Wow, that's so crazy. Makes me feel like I don't have much to complain about. It was really hard on Gavin, having the upbringing that he did. Sure made him responsible, though. Man, that guy is by the book about everything. How old was he when he ran away? And it wasn't like he totally ran away, Eric explained. But by the time he was 12, he had found a way to spend most of his time out of the house. "I don't know," Avery sighed. If it were me, I would have ended up dead in a gutter somewhere or something." "He did what he had to do to survive. That's when things started getting really bad with the drugs. He said they were bad before that, but I guess she really started going downhill. And it wasn't like he was living on the street. There was an older foreign lady named Cornelia who lived on the same block that sort of took him in. He spent most of his time over there." "I'm surprised you didn't end up in foster care." "I think Cornelia may have guessed he may have been better off with her than being pulled into the system. You know, he could easily have ended up in foster care. I don't know why he didn't. Just didn't work out that way. Maybe it was for the best." "Well, it seems like you two are a good team." Releasing Eric's hand, Avery took a moment to straighten the front of his jacket. "Have I mentioned how handsome you look tonight?" "You're a lot like my brother, you know that?" Eric's voice quivered with emotion. "You're just so caring and encouraging all the time." "That's nice of you to say, but oh my goodness, Eric, you're crying. You're like a ray of hope." "I see what you're trying to do, mister." Avery smiled, her wet brown eyes glistening like the chandelier crystals dangling above them. "You want my mascara to smear again." Gently pressing her lips to Eric's moist cheek, Avery then whispered into his ear, "You're too good to me. So what about those seats your brother was able to score for us?" Avery's return home was announced by the screeching of the hinges on their front door. Exiting the bathroom, wrapped in a robe and a towel about her head, Allison padded toward her beaming daughter, embracing her firmly. "And I half expected you to be covered in dirt. So how was it?" Grinning bashfully at her mother, Avery remained silent for a moment. "What, Aves?" Allison questioned, ushering her daughter to the couch. "Did you two kiss or something?" With her grin stretching like a taut rubber band, Avery had to look away to break from Allison's expectant glare. "Oh, wow." Allison's back stiffened. "Well, that was fast." "Ah," Avery chirped, slapping Allison's knee. "I never." would have kissed a guy on a blind date. What do you mean, blind date, Mom? He wasn't a blind date. Avery's eyes then widened in response to her mother's wry grin. Mom! Sorry, Allison laughed, pulling the towel off her head. I had to. It was just too easy. You are the worst sometimes, you know that? Seriously. Avery swiftly wiggled free of Allison's button-up sweater and playfully tossed it into Allison's face. There's your sweater back, you jerk. Watch it now, little lady. Allison issued a firm look. You shouldn't make fun of people, Avery chortled, kicking off her black heels. It's not nice. You'd better watch out, or somebody will end up bashing in your windows to teach you a lesson. Allison gleefully welcomed the comment. So, she continued, dragging a large round brush through her moist yellow hair, besides your little romantic moment, how else did things go tonight? Does the symphony compare to all those obnoxious rock concerts you and Marnie love so much? I can't really compare the two. They're completely different. The symphony has a much more soothing feel about it. But there's still some exciting moments. Going to see a band is more about the rush and you get all sweaty jumping around. You know, that sort of thing. But tonight had a different sort of thrill about it. It was really neat. It was inspiring. Finishing with the round brush, Allison set it aside and clasped her pale hands on her lap. Well, good. I'm glad you had such a nice time. I wish you could have seen Eric's face while he listened to that music. Avery looked away for a moment and sighed. It was like he became part of the music. He would close his eyes and kind of sway back and forth. I'm pretty sure that's what your dad used to do when he was falling asleep. Ha ha, very funny. Sorry, you were saying? I don't know. Avery paused for a moment, looking intently into Allison's large blue eyes. Because he's blind, I think he's able to enjoy the music more. It's like he can hear more of the sounds or something. Does that make sense? I think so, yeah. That's really neat. Sounds like the second date was much better than the first. And that kiss, Avery sighed. Oh no, Allison smiled, rolling her eyes. Here it comes. Not too short, Avery went on, not too long. Yeah, just perfect. What, right in the middle of the performance? Absolutely, why not? Oh, to be young again. Don't be jealous, Mom. 40 is still young. Who are you calling 40? I'm 39 and 12/8. Well, Mom, Avery said, standing up, I'm beat. Hey, wait, Allison called out as Avery strode down the hall. Aren't you going to stay up and watch Kid Swap reruns with me? Sorry, Mom, Avery hollered back. That show is for old people.